If this reading found you today, I feel like Spirit is bringing a very clear message of restoration because the energy here feels like someone who has quietly been moving through emotional heaviness, but is now entering a season where things begin balancing out in a very real and visible way. And honestly, I feel relief all over this reading, the kind of relief that comes after carrying something for far too long. With the Six of Wands sitting on the bottom of the deck, this tells me your story is shifting toward victory, recognition, breakthrough, forward movement, being seen. This feels like the universe acknowledging everything you've had to move through to get here. And Spirit keeps showing me that some of you are closer to a personal breakthrough than you realize, even if things still feel uncertain in the present moment. Because the first card out is Temperance, and this is one of the most healing cards in the deck. This is balance being restored, divine timing, patience, alignment, emotional recalibration. Temperance tells me there has been a process unfolding behind the scenes. Things have been slowly being adjusted, shifted, and rebalanced in ways you may not have fully noticed yet. And honestly, I think some of you have felt frustrated by how slow certain things have been moving. But this card says the delay was intentional. It was never about punishment, it was about preparation. Spirit has been helping you integrate lessons, release what no longer fits, and become emotionally ready for what's next. This is beautiful energy because it reminds us that healing doesn't always happen through dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes it happens through quiet recalibration. Then we move into the Queen of Cups, and this tells me your emotional wisdom has deepened significantly. You are becoming more intuitive, more self-aware, more emotionally grounded. And honestly, I feel like some of you have spent a lot of time learning how to hold space for your own emotions instead of running from them. That's growth. The Queen of Cups does not suppress what she feels. She honors it. She trusts it. She lets emotion become information rather than control. And Spirit keeps showing me that this is one of your greatest strengths right now. Your intuition is becoming clearer because you've stopped abandoning yourself emotionally. You're learning how to trust your inner knowing. Then we move into the Five of Pentacles. And this is where the reading acknowledges the pain you've been carrying. This card feels like emotional isolation, feeling unsupported, feeling overlooked, feeling like you had to survive a difficult chapter quietly. For some of you, this could absolutely connect to financial fears, instability, or concerns around security. But emotionally, this feels like a deeper sense of absence. Like there was a season where you questioned whether things would ever shift, a season where you may have felt disconnected from hope itself. And honestly, I think Spirit is validating that here. Because sometimes healing begins with simply being honest about how hard things have been. But what's powerful is where this card sits in the spread. It is surrounded by healing and resolution, which tells me this energy is not where you're staying. It's what you are moving through. Then we move into the Four of Wands. And honestly, this feels like a huge shift. This card is stability, celebration, peace, foundation, joy. This feels like arriving somewhere emotionally safe, a sense of belonging, a sense of security, a feeling of finally being able to exhale. For some of you, this could absolutely connect to home, relationships, family, community, or creating a more stable environment for yourself. But spiritually, this feels like internal stability too. Finally feeling at home within yourself. And that's powerful, because for many of you, the journey has not just been about external circumstances changing. It's been about learning how to create emotional safety within. The Four of Wands tells me that the stability you've been craving is becoming available. Then we end with justice. And this feels like truth balancing the scales. Fairness, alignment, karmic correction, receiving what is deserved. Justice tells me the universe is restoring equilibrium. Things that have felt unfair, delayed, or unresolved are being addressed. And honestly, I think this is why the reading feels so deeply reassuring, because justice says your effort has not gone unnoticed. Your growth has not been wasted. Your patience has not been pointless. What you've poured into yourself, your healing, and your future is returning in some form. And Spirit keeps repeating, balance is being restored. That feels like the heart of this reading, because underneath it all is the Six of Wands. This card confirms success, recognition, emergence. This is not quiet behind the scenes energy anymore. This is visible progress. This is finally seeing proof that your healing, your patience, and your persistence have been leading somewhere real. And honestly, I think some of you have spent so long navigating internal battles that you've forgotten what it feels like to celebrate yourself. But this reading feels like a reminder that you've made it through something significant. The version of you listening to this now is not the same version who entered the difficult season. You've grown, you've deepened, you've strengthened, and Spirit is asking you to recognize that. Temperance says healing has been happening. The Queen of Cups says your intuition has strengthened. The Five of Pentacles says the isolation is ending. The Four of Wands says stability is arriving. Justice says balance is being restored. And the Six of Wands confirms that breakthrough is near. This genuinely feels like a reading about emotional restoration after a long season of feeling disconnected. And I keep hearing this message very clearly. What felt delayed is not denied. It was being aligned. So if this reading resonated, take what connected and leave what didn't. But this feels like a powerful confirmation that the heaviness you've been carrying is beginning to lift. The balance you've been searching for is finally finding its way back to you.